Peacemaker Season 2 didn't just end, it exploded into the future of the DC Universe. A new planet, a shocking betrayal, and James Gunn himself saying this will be incredibly important to the DCU's future. But what exactly is salvation? And how does it tie into Superman, Man of Tomorrow, and even Darkseid? If you're hyped for the new DCU and want to see how this twist connects everything, hit that like button before we dive in. 1. The Salvation Planet. A new chapter begins. In the Peacemaker Season 2 finale, Rick Flag Sr. proposes a radical idea to use a distant planet called Salvation as a prison for metahumans. Arkham Asylum and Belle Reve couldn't hold villains anymore, so they created a new world to trap them. But the twist? Flag Sr. kidnaps Peacemaker himself, making him the first volunteer. This isn't justice, it's revenge, a direct punishment for killing Rick Flag Jr. in the Suicide Squad. 2. James Gunn confirms it's the start of something bigger. James Gunn confirmed in the Piece by Piece Part 3 featurette that leaving Peacemaker stranded on Salvation is going to be an incredibly important part of the DCU's future. According to Gunn, Salvation isn't about helping humanity, it's about dumping dangerous metahumans in another dimension. And yes, this idea comes straight from the comics. 3. The comic inspiration, Salvation Run, 2007-2008. Salvation isn't new, it's inspired by DC's Salvation Run, a 7-issue limited series written by Bill Willingham and Lila Sturges, based on a concept by Game of Thrones author George R.R. Martin. In the comics, Amanda Waller and Rick Flag send DC's most dangerous villains, like Lex Luthor, Joker, Bane, Catwoman, and Gorilla Grodd to a hostile alien planet. It's survival of the fittest, with factions forming, betrayal everywhere, and one terrifying twist: the planet is ruled by Apocalypse. That means Darkseid and Darkseid were behind the whole thing. 4. The Revenge of Rick Flag Sr. In the show, Flag Sr. gets his ultimate revenge. He tells Peacemaker, "This is for Ricky, you piece of shit," before throwing him through a dimensional portal to Salvation. And that little detail, Peacemaker wearing his Foxy Shazam t-shirt, adds that weird James Gunn flavor. But as he lands on Salvation, we hear something scream in the distance. Gunn confirmed that those hellish squeals come from some kind of beast, proof that this planet is anything but safe. 5. Peacemaker's fate, alone in a dangerous world. John Cena described it perfectly. Chris is alone in an unfamiliar world. Peacemaker's entire journey so far has been about redemption. But now he's stranded in a living hell built for killers, surrounded by creatures and criminals with no escape. This sets up the perfect setup for the DCU to expand, because whatever he finds on Salvation could shape what happens next for everyone. 6. How Salvation ties into Superman. Man of Tomorrow? James Gunn already confirmed that Peacemaker Season 2 acts as a prequel to Superman, Man of Tomorrow. And this is where it gets wild. Rick Flag Sr. is now working with Lex Luthor. Together, they have the resources, technology, and personnel from Superman's own world. Their goal? To use Salvation as a testing ground, and maybe their ultimate trap for Superman himself. 7. Lex Luthor's plan. From ally to manipulator. Imagine this. By the time Man of Tomorrow begins, dozens of villains are already trapped on Salvation, and Lex wants to send Superman there too. We know Superman in Gunn's universe opposes imprisoning people in pocket dimensions, so if Lex tricks him into discovering Salvation, it could lead to the first confrontation between Superman's ideals and Lex's manipulation. But there's a catch. In Gunn's world, nothing goes as planned. If Salvation is controlled by forces darker than Lex expects, the result could unite Superman and Luthor against something far worse. 8. The return of the new gods. In Salvation Run, it's revealed that the planet isn't just a prison, it's a training ground for parademons, ruled by Darkseid, one of Darkseid's generals. If Gunn follows that path, this twist could secretly be setting up Darkseid as the DCU's next Thanos-level villain. That means Salvation could evolve into the DCU's version of Battleworld or Sakaar, a place where villains, anti-heroes, and maybe even Superman clash before uniting against the ultimate cosmic threat. 9. Peacemaker's role moving forward. Peacemaker isn't just comic relief anymore. His story could become the emotional bridge between grounded Earth-level politics and cosmic DC mythology. From killing Rick Flag Jr., to facing Flag Sr.'s revenge, to now possibly becoming the only man who's seen what's really happening on Salvation, Peacemaker's survival could be the key that connects the Suicide Squad, Man of Tomorrow, and even the new gods. 10. The bigger DCU picture. Everything James Gunn's building now points to one massive connective thread. Salvation could become the nexus of the new DC universe. A prison world, a battleground, a warning sign of something godlike watching from beyond. So don't be surprised if Peacemaker's survival directly leads to Superman's next mission, and eventually, the arrival of Darkseid. So, what do you think? Will Salvation become the DCU's version of Apocalypse, or will Peacemaker find a way to turn a prison into redemption? If you're excited to see Peacemaker, Superman, and Lex collide, hit that like button. And if you want deep dive videos breaking down the new DCU lore, subscribe so you don't miss what's next. This is the beginning of James Gunn's larger story, And it all starts with Peacemaker stranded on Salvation.